Today I'm with Zulfa from 4BD English Department. How are you, Zulfa?
I'm fine. How about you?
I'm so fine and thank you. Today we're going to talk about tourism destination.
Okay.
Okay, the first question is, what do you know about tourism destination?
Local wisata. Tourist attraction or tourism section is a place of recreation or place to travel. Tourist object can be in the form of nature factor, such as mountain, lakes, river, beach, ships, or in the form of building tourist but not a museum or historic sites.
Okay, first of all, where are you from, Zulfa?
I am from Palembang, from Sumatra, Indonesia.
Can you tell me about tourism destination in your city?
What I know about tourist destination in Palembang is Break, Ampera Break, Pulau Kemarau, and Benteng Kota Besar.
Okay then, can you explain a little bit about that tourism destination?
Sure. Firstly, Ampera Break. Ampera Break is local on Jalan Lintas Sumatera, seberang Huluan Drive, Palembang City, and it's the most famous icon of Palembang City Pride. Visiting Palembang well less if you have this icon break. The break which was on the long break is Asia has a length of more 1,000 meter, width of 22 meter, and height of 63 meter. The Empire Break was released for the 2018 Asian Games by installing two-layer anal globe on the two towers so that the break local cool and modern. At night, the Ampera Break looks even more beautiful with the light that adorn it. Secondly, Benteng Kota Besar. Kota Besar for is local at Jalan Sultan Mahmud Badarudin, 19 Ilir, Bukit Kecil, Palembang. This front is a tourist spot with historical building local on the back of the museum. The fort, which was built in 1708, was armed by the Palembang city government into a square in the front yard, equipment with beach, food vendors, and boat rental facilities for six saints of the Musi River. To visit Kota Besar for visitor will be charged an entrance ticket of 5,000 rupiah. Local queue near the center of Palembang city with a distance of about 4 km can be reached in about 15 minutes. And the last one is Pulau Kemarau. Pulau Kemarau Island has object of interest of tourists, namely a Chinese monastery or Hong Kong Tanjing Rio Pagoda, a Buddhist temple, and a pagoda on the 19th floor.
Okay, I see. I feel excited about the destination after hearing your explanations. Sounds so interesting place. And is it that place been managed properly and has been touched by the entire Palembang people?
No, too much.
Why can you explain why haven't tourist destinations there developed like in other cities?
Tourism destination in Palembang city area are relevant under promote, so they are not well known as other city in Indonesia. Said the tourist promote managed for Indonesia in Singapore in the Ministry of Tourism Sulaiman said that the lack of promote I see this is the weakness of the tourist sector in Palembang. Also, Palembang is already well known because
Dari jawab awal.
tourist destination in Palembang city area are developed under promote, so they are not well known as other cities in Indonesia. Cite the tourist promote managed for Indonesia in Singapore. The Ministry of Tourism Sulaiman said the lack of promote I see this is the weakness of the tourist sector in Palembang. Also, Palembang is already well known because it had hosted the SEA Games. But if it not market that it's easily, the city government sold stables and special agents to manage promotes, such as those in Bali and Yogyakarta. The essence of the regional tourist promote board is absolute necessary if you want to promote tourism in an area, because in principle people must know first, because before wanting to come and to take care of this is not easy. According to him, the concept of promote to improve this brand must be understood so that the city government is not troubled by the problem of inadequate tourist infrastructure. When it comes to infrastructure, it will never and will always be a source. So it must be reversed, starting with promote first, then entering the product tour packages will of course facing the investor. Palembang City has a number of tourist potential, namely religious tourists, culinary tourists, shopping tourists, historical of heritage tourists. For religious tourists, Kamarul Island is always crowded with thousands of people of Chinese descent to celebrate Chinese New Year, because there is the Hok Ting Jing Rio Temple and the development of the legend of finding a mate. Well, the number of tourist visits to South Sumatra is around 3 million people per year. Well, this year, the South Sumatra Province Culture and Tourism Official is targeting to increase rapidly to make up for 5 million people.
Okay, that's a great explanation. I can understand it. And last one, how do you hope that tourist destinations in Palembang can develop like other cities in Indonesia?
I hope that their tourist attractions are given more attention and managed wisely, and additions I have to that the local community will also participate in preserving and maintaining as well as enlivening their tourist attraction because the city of Palembang itself has so much tourist potential, range from religious tourist history to other architecture buildings.
Okay, excellent. That's so good, and I hope so. Thank you so much for your information, Zulfa, and explanation. That's so good. I think that's all what we were gonna talk about tourism destination. Ta-da! Bye bye.